Getting right into it, I start with adding shea butter into a nice glass jar that I'm going to put on a double boiler, and I added quite a bit of shea butter this time. I don't usually add this much shea butter, but I have so much shea butter that I'm trying to get through it, so I was experimenting with adding lots of shea butter. Then I will add some beeswax pellets into the mix. I'm not adding as much here as I normally would because the shea butter adds some stiffening agents, and so I thought I would add a little less beeswax. Once I have those in the jar, I put them in my double boiler pan and I turn it on to like medium low heat and wait for it to melt. In the meantime, I got a brick of a pound of beeswax from my uncle, and I'm so excited because I'll have lots of beeswax. And then I have jojoba oil, rose water, and some vegetable glycerin that I will be adding to the cold cream later on. And I continue to check on it. It is starting to melt. I went ahead and I am going to be filtering the rose water because it's been sitting there for a while. I distilled it myself and I just wanted to make sure it didn't have any little particles of anything in it, so I put it through some cloth to just get out any tiny little fluffs that could have gotten in. I also decided that I would boil it for a little bit just to disinfect it in case it had any bacteria growing in it. On to the exciting part where I put in my melted beeswax and shea butter and I start mixing. I also then add in the warm rose water and it started looking pretty nice. Once it's mixing, I add in the jojoba oil. Every now and again I would stop and scrape the sides of the bowl. I decided to add a little bit more jojoba oil at this point as well. Now I'm starting to realize maybe I made this cold cream a little bit too liquidy because I didn't add enough stiffeners in the beginning. I had remelted down the little bits of the stiffeners that were left in the jar earlier on and put that in. Realizing that this wasn't going to be enough, I put some beeswax in that jar and started melting it at this point. Also, in the hopes that it would thicken up, I added some ice underneath the bottom. This is experimentation at its finest. And I added some glycerin because I was making cold cream. Turning the mixer onto a very high setting, I added the beeswax, but this did not work. As you will see, it left chunks of beeswax in the cold cream, and so I had to start over entirely and just remelt the cold cream and remix it again and do exactly what I had done the first time. I did eventually end up with a nice cream and I was able to put it in my jar. In the mixing process, I had added some other rose water that I had that wasn't distilled. It was just steeped rose water just to make the cream the right consistency. This time round, the cold cream wasn't as straightforward because I had to redo it, but it did end up with a nice thick cold cream. And I won't have to redo this process for another 4 months. This is my bottle of non-distilled rose water. Also, I had to get the cold cream off of the whisk that I had been using, and it also makes for a nice skin moisturizer. My hands get very moisturized on cold cream baking day. At the very end, I almost forgot I got some vitamin E oil for Christmas, which also preserves the oils in the cold cream, so I add a few droppers worth of that. And there you have some nice Victorian cold cream for all your moisturizing needs. That's all for now. Bye!